Or am I? Hold on. Let me get the music just right. Alright, guys. And what's up, guys? Haru here. Welcome to the outfit reveal. Now, some of you might be asking, where am I? Well, why don't I get my outfit out right now? Whoop, 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 whoop. And we got feet and pants. Well, not pants. Ankles! Alright. We're down here. Okay. Now, let's get this going. Ooh. 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 Whoa. Whoa. We got pants. Let me just... Whoa. What's this? Got my pants, got my tail, but something's not quite right. Hold on. Hold on. Take a look. Whoop. Too much. Behold! Behold! Pants and gloves. Matching gloves. Yep. We got gloveness. Alright. But let me just hold on. Let me just go over here just to make it more interesting. Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys, just let me just adjust myself more. Just want to give you a bit up close, an up close shot. Hold on. Yeah. Ta-da! Oh. Jacket seems cool. Cool inspired jackets. It seems cool and badass, doesn't it? Alright. Let me just fix myself just a bit. Hold on, guys. Just hold on. My iconic horns, as usual, with my headband. Still got my ponytail. Wait. What's this? What's happening? Ooh. Ooh. Huh? Is that a headband? Now why would I be wearing a headband? Well, Ta-da! What do you think? Made it myself in Blender. Got every detail of this outfit just a bit close enough. If you want a view at the back, allow me to do that for you. Just give me one sec. Just give me one sec. Just give you the details of the back. And let me just the lights. Behold. Yeah, you could say that. Yep. Kyo Kusanagi's first outfits. This took a while to like make in Blender, just a little bit. It took me a long ass time to make this in Blender. Just whew, man. All in time for tomorrow. And this is just outfit 1. And this is just one of the 5 outfits I'll be presenting, well, I'll be wearing during the whole King of Fighters event. This is one of the 5 outfits I'll be wearing during the King Fighter events. So, some of you may have questions after seeing yesterday's stream. Some of you may be asking questions. What is King of Fighters? Well, let me explain that right now. Just pop up this. Alright. Those that aren't new, King of Fighters, 3-on-3 fighting game. It's been around since 1994 and it's produced so many great memories, so many great characters, and some stories that we love, some stories that we hate, and some that are, let's just say, a bit of a mind disaster. Yep. But apparently the game wasn't always like this. Like, originally the game was supposed to start off as a one-off thing, but clearly as time went on, it didn't go like that. Instead of being one-off, look where we are now. I mean, we got so much King of Fighters at the moment. We have King of Fighters 94, 95, 96, 15 spin-off games. It's quite a lot. And so for today, for this whole month, for starting tomorrow, we're going all the way back to the beginning. 94. All the mainline King of Fighters games, starting at 94. Now, I have played 94 for a bit, and believe me, that computer is hard. I mean, back then, during arcades, it wasn't pretty. Like, literally. Like, fighting games back then were always hard. I mean, it's still hard because, well, players are advanced, but it does get a bit easy to, transition into. But back then, no. Fighting games were extremely hard. Especially King of Fighters, because the first one, yeah, that computer will literally just read your inputs fast. Like, you try to do an uppercut, it'll block it, and it'll hit you with a hard kick. You try jumping, it'll block it and hit you with an uppercut. Try to do a super move, it'll jump over it and basically beat your ass. Yeah, that game is quite a beast. Alright, so yeah, that's enough from my experience. So let's get on to this. So you might be asked, one-off games. So how did this created? Well, we have to first thank two games that helped create this game. Well, first started this game. Let me just pull it up. There are two games that helped start King of Fighters. Here. Right. First game, Fatal Fury. The main game that started it all. And the second game that helped bring it to life, Art of Fighting. Which is a prequel to Fatal Fury. Yeah, having Art of Fighting be a prequel to Fatal Fury, that's always an interesting thing to do. You know, some people be like, alright, so then why didn't this game come first and then why didn't this game come second? Honestly, I'm not the I don't know, this is how it's always set up. But this is where the mind's screw up begins, because, well, this is where the mind screw up begins, because King of Fighters, although these two games helped create this game, you gotta keep something in mind. The timeline within Fatal Fury and Art of Fighting is very different from King of Fighters, because King of Fighters, it's its own different timeline. Although most events still happen in King of Fighters, just not in the same way. To quote a YouTuber I saw while watching about King of Fighters, it's like, okay, it's like this. It's like how Marvel films are completely different from the Marvel comics. Like, some events from the comics happened in the movie, but it didn't happen in the same way. So some events in Art of Fighting and Fatal Fury still happen in King of Fighters, just not in the same context. It's just not in the same way. Yeah, that's the mind screw up that you get when you first play this game. So let's start off with the first team. Let's start off with the first teams within this game. Let's start off with the first team that's in Fatal Fury. Just 1 sec. Just pull it up. Alright. Let's introduce our first team for this game, for Fatal Fury. I'm pretty sure everyone has seen this guy going around the internet for the past few weeks. He is basically the hero of this game, and by far one of many iconic fighting characters, especially in SNK's library. This man's name in the red hat, Terry Bogard. Right here on this side, the blonde one, you have his brother, Andy Bogard. This guy right here rapping his band, wrapping his hand in the bandage, you have Joe Higashi, who were all three playable characters in the first Fatal Fury game. So, what's their story? Well, the story goes as followed. Terry and Andy were years ago, Terry and Andy were orphans. That was until, as kids, they were orphans. That was until a man by the name of Jeff Bogard ended up adopting the brothers. While being adopted, they were basically raised rights. Jeff, treated them as his own sons, taught them some martial arts, set them on a good path. Things were all going good for them. But everything changed when Jeff's old friend, Geese Howard, who runs a criminal empire, tried to convince Jeff to join his organization. Jeff obviously, of course, refused. Again, this is all the information I'm telling you. This is from what I'm hearing, and I'm just trying to recap in my own knowledge. So yeah, Jeff refused to join Geese, and as a result, Geese basically had the mindset of no one tells me no. If I can't have you as a partner, then I'm going to destroy you as an enemy. So Jeff and Geese Howard fight. The battle was intense. Geese ended up winning, however, the fight had a horrific consequence. Geese beat Jeff so badly, he suffered fatal internal injuries. As a result, Jeff Bogard died. And what made it worse, Terry and Andy saw it right in front of them. The brothers saw their adopted father die by Geese right in front of them. After Jeff's death, the brothers had one mission and one mission only: revenge. But the brothers knew they couldn't fight Geese at where they are right now. So they had to leave and go train somewhere else. Terry ended up training with the master that taught his adopted father and Geese, while Andy went somewhere else. 10 years would pass, and the brothers would finally return to the town they grew up in, much stronger and ready to fight Geese. During their training, they do meet up with Joe Higashi, the guy wrapping his hands in the band-aid you see here. They end up meeting him one day. They form a close bond. The brothers do tell Joe of what happened to their father, and upon learning this, Joe decides to help them out. And these three form a special bond. Sort of like, we're like a band of brothers, we're friends. We always got each other's back no matter what. So now that they know the mission, they had to wait for the opportunity to strike. Luckily, the opportunity to fight Geese was upon them, because Geese ended up opening a tournament which is named King of Fighters. Yeah, so if you ever play this game, you're gonna see the title Fatal Fury King of Fighters. Yeah, that was technically the first King of Fighters tournament. So the brothers, along with Joe, end up competing in this tournament. They end up fighting various villains, which will be in the King of Fighters games later down the line. In the end, however, Terry is the one to fight Geese. The two have an epic battle on top of Geese's tower. And Terry won and kicked Geese off his tower, which ultimately led to Geese's death. But Geese does not die. Sorry for that little spoiler. So yeah, although Geese is dead, he isn't really dead. But I'll get to that later. So yeah, Fatal Fury. So yeah, that sums up Fatal Fury. That sums up the first Fatal Fury game. The second game, you in the Fatal Fury 2 game. Second Fatal Fury 2 game, you fight Geese's half-brother, a man by the name of Wolfgang Krauser, who wanted to kill Geese, but Terry was the one who did it. So Wolfgang opens up the King of Fighters tournament again. The guys enter along with another participant who made her debut in that game, which I will get to later. So yeah, the brothers enter. Terry, of course, goes to the finals, wins again, defeats Wolfgang Krauser, in which, okay, and keep in mind, this is from the Fatal Fury timeline, alright? Like I said before, some events in Fatal Fury do not happen in the King of Fighters game. And some of it does. So for this part I'm about to say, only happens in this timeline. So yeah, Wolfgang loses to Terry and ends up killing himself. Realize because he basically felt ashamed of losing to Terry, because Wolfgang had a bit of an obsession with, trying to become the best fighter and trying to fight anyone, trying to become like the strongest fighter in the world, sort of. So yeah, Wolfgang's gone, and surprise, Fatal Fury 3, Geese Howard comes back. So, like I just said in the little spoiler, in the first Fatal Fury game, we saw Geese die. Third game, he comes back. How? Well, turns out Geese had possession of an ancient scroll that basically brought him back to life. And so in the third game, he was trying to find the two other scrolls as well to become more powerful, but for some weird reason in Geese's mind, he wanted to find those scrolls and destroy them, because he had the idea of, okay, what if I'm in the possession of these scrolls and someone takes them from me and uses it against me? I can't let that happen. So yeah, in the Fatal Fury timeline, Geese ends up destroying his own scroll and the other two, which he does find. And then in the sequel, Real Bouts Fatal Fury, that was the last game we saw Geese Howard, because Terry fights him once again, and this time Geese is dead. Geese officially dies in the game Real Bouts Fatal Fury. I apologize for that spoiler, but yeah, Geese dies in the Fatal Fury timeline, never coming back. In the King of Fighters timeline, that death never happened. Geese is still alive in the King of Fighters timeline. He doesn't destroy the scrolls. He does not destroy the scrolls. And Wolfgang Krauser's death, Geese's half-brother, he doesn't kill himself. He's still alive, but I don't see him ever being mentioned again in the King of Fighters tournament. He only appeared in one game, and then that was it. Which I really think they should have brought him back. I mean, if they were managed to bring Geese back, I mean, why couldn't they bring him back? Again, the timeline, it's just a weird idea. I'm not really working for SNK on that. I don't know why they do this, but that's what they do. So yeah, that's the Fatal Fury games summed up. As for this next one, just give me a sec. Let me just pull up the next team. Let me pull up the next team. Let me just pull up the next team. Done. Boop. Wrong song. My bad. Here we go. Alright. Here's the next team. The next team that helped bring King of Fighters to life. Art of Fighting. You got you got Ryo Sakazaki, Takuma Sakazaki, and Robert Garcia. Robert and Ryo, main characters of Art of Fighting. So, as I said before, Art of Fighting is the prequel game to Fatal Fury. So, the story goes is like this. In the first Art of Fighting game, you only play as Ryo and Roberts. So the story goes, Ryo's sister gets kidnapped by a mysterious man, by a leader of a criminal gang named Mr. Big. So Ryo, along with Robert, goes within the city neighborhoods of Southtown, which I forgot to mention is also the same place as Fatal Fury. So you play as Roberts and Ryo in the first Art of Fighting game. You go into Southtown and try and fight various characters who some will appear again in the King of Fighters game. So yeah, you have these two friends who are also rivals. Go into town, beat up every person that they see, trying to find Ryo's sister. You do end up confronting the man that kidnapped her, Mr. Big. So you beat Mr. Big, however he tells you, okay, you may have beaten me, but your sister, yeah, she's trapped in the theater, but if you want to rescue her, you gotta fight my right-hand man, the toughest guy I got. The guy goes by the name of Mr. Karate. And when you first fight him, he plays similarly to Ryo, basically using some of the same movesets, some of the same martial arts style, it's almost similar to the style he uses. So, after you beat Mr. Karate, Ryo is seconds away from killing him until his sister Yuri who got freed from her imprisonment. I assume Roberts may have freed her, or she must have escaped her shackles. But I'm just gonna make the assumption, oh, Robert was the one that freed her, while Ryo was the one that. So yeah, Ryo is seconds away from killing Mr. Karate when his sister stops him and tells him this man is not who you think he is. Mr. Karate takes off his mask and is revealed to be his father, Takuma. Now, you might be wondering, why would Ryo and Yuri's father hold her hostage? Well, again, referencing from another video I saw about this game. The story goes, years ago, Takuma's wife died in a car accident, while Ryo and Yuri mourned the loss of their mother. Takuma was like, alright, I accept that my wife died, but an accident? Yeah, no, something's up. I can't accept that accident part. So Takuma leaves his family to go chase after his suspicions, to which, unfortunately, he got too close. Turns out Takuma was right. He was right that his wife died, but it wasn't an accident. Turns out Takuma was being targeted by the real villain in charge of the criminal empire, and Mr. Big was just an underling. Unfortunately, he got too close, and this leader tried to force Takuma into joining him. Of course, when Takuma refused, the leader ordered Mr. Big to kidnap his daughter. And upon hearing that, Takuma had no choice. He basically gave in to working for that villain. And the real villain who did this, it was Geese Howard. Yep. Like I said. Art of Fighting was the prequel. Fatal Fury was the main one. So Fatal Fury told Geese's story leading up to his death. Art of Fighting told the story of how he became a criminal mastermind. So basically Robert, Takuma, and Ryo, along with their sister Yuri, all basically work together now to go confront Geese. Ryo, however, is the only one to confront Geese, and just like what almost happened with his father, Ryo was seconds away from killing Geese when Geese's bodyguards killed the lights and basically ran away with Geese. So Geese escaped, but he didn't escape death. Obviously, he just escaped death from a different person. Geese still died by the hands of Terry. He just did not. He didn't die by the hands of Ryo. So yeah, that's how the story goes. At least the information I was getting and the information I was seeing retold from other YouTubers. I can recommend some. I'll share some of the videos. I'll share some of the videos I watched down in the link once the stream is done. So yeah. So yeah. Just change this just a bit. So yeah, we have Rio. Welcome, welcome, thank you. Okay, thank you. So yeah, we have the cast from Fatal Fury, we have the cast from Art of Fighting. Now these two guys would set up the King of Fighters video game, but as time went, as the development went on, that idea completely expanded. Instead of having Fatal Fury and Art of Fighting, SNK decided to cross over all their games. So it wasn't just these guys we have in their team. We also have various other teams as well. And let's get to them right now. Oh, and before I forget, Ryo is the one in the orange gi. Roberts is the one with the ponytail and the gloves, and Takuma is the one in the light, in the cream gi with the brown hair. All right, just letting you know. All right. Now, if you recall, I said that there would be a character within the Fatal Fury 2 game would also be parts of who would also join Terry, Andy, and Joe. Well, gonna get to that right now. Let me just change the music. Let's get to that right now. Now we go on to the next team, who are also important to both of these games. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Team England, also known as the Women's Fighting Team. So let's introduce some of these ladies here. First, we have Yuri Sakazaki, like I said, the sister of Ryo and the daughter of Takuma. So as I mentioned before, the first Art of Fighting game, she was kidnapped. In the second one, she joins her brother and her father and Robert to confront Geese. But like I said, Ryo is the one that fights him. But she does hold up her own. She is a really good skilled fighter. Skilled fighter. I mean, when you play as her, she may start off as childish, but believe me, Yuri knows how to handle herself. The one in the blonde you see right here, her name is King. She originally was one of the villains who you do fight when you play as Ryo or Robert in the first Art of Fighting game. She was basically a bouncer, and she did start off as a villain, but after she was beaten by Ryo, she ended up switching sides upon learning what had happened to his sister. There's also another key notes that King has a little brother who is sick, and she was trying to basically earn money in order to help him get better. And also when also also hold on. Wait, hold on. Sorry. Okay. Also also King and Ryo, as time would go on in the King of Fighters games, they would start to develop sort of a relationship. Okay, well, not really. Basically, King does end up having a crush on Ryo, but let's just say the dude, Ryo, is too focused on his training and trying to become a strong martial artist that clearly that relationship flies over his head. But Yuri obviously knows this, so she always teases King, to be like, hey, why aren't you hooking up with my brother? Or, you and my brother will look good together. Honestly, Yuri can be such a troll to King in certain cases. It's kind of cute. Funny. Next, and so yeah, that's King and Yuri. Now we focus on the one over here, the one holding the fan, the girl that has been dubbed fan favorite, and let's just say I've seen so many sus art of her. Mai Shiranui. She made her debut in the Fatal Fury 2 game, joining Terry, Andy, and Joe. Joining Terry, Andy, and Joe during the events of the Fatal Fury 2 game. Now, as I mentioned before, Andy, when the brothers, like I said, sorry. So to recap, as I said, the brothers, upon seeing Terry and Andy, upon seeing their adopted father's death, basically left Southtown in order to go train. Terry went to go train with the man that helped train his adopted father and Geese, while Andy went to go train with Mai's father. Now during their training and as they were growing up, Mai and Andy sort of developed a bit of a friendship at first, but then as time went on, Mai soon developed romantic feelings for Andy, but don't think of it as like, they're like a couple, they're like, all lovey-dovey, all that kind of stuff. How do I put this bluntly? How do I put this bluntly? How do I put this bluntly in any way possible? Mai is crazy for Andy. And I don't mean like fangirling crazy. I mean sort of like, I want to say 40% levels of stalking with 30% with 30% tsundere vibes. One moment she could be forcing Andy to ask her to marry her, and Andy would be like, wait, hold up, don't you think we need to set some, to be like, wait, hold up, don't you think we need to set some boundaries, we can't rush into marriage that fast. That's one moment. And then there will be other moments where Mai would get mad at Andy and be like, oh, why didn't you tell me you were leaving town? Why didn't you invite me on your trips? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And Andy would always be like, Mai, wait, I thought, if we just, yeah. It's always a back and forth between them. But they're still a couple. It's just Mai's a little crazy. And knowing us fans, we always like crazy women. So yeah, you would think Mai should have been on Team Fatal Fury, but obviously no, and Yuri, of course, with Art of Fighting, no. So yeah, in the first sets of King of Fighters games, my King and Yuri would stay together for the first two King of Fighter games. It wouldn't be later down the line where some changes would happen. It would be like Yuri would end up finally joining Art of Fighting. Mai would end up joining Fatal Fury, and then it would just be a switch around with this group. Honestly, it's gone back and forth. So yeah, there's that. There is one more team though. Hold on, let me pull them up. There is one more character from the Fatal Fury game that does end up being part of King of Fighters. Let me just pull him up. Let me just pull him up. Let me just pull him up. Welcome, Team Korean Justice. Team Korean Justice. The man in the white gi you see here, his name is Kim Cap-Wan. He is from the Fatal Fury. He is from the Fatal Fury games. Now, I mean, he doesn't play much of a certain role within those games, other than he does have sons in those games, but again, that's from a different time. That's in the Fatal Fury timeline though. In the King of Fighters timeline, it is completely different. So Kim is a Taekwondo master, and let's just say this dude has an obsession for wanting to use it as a form of justice. He's obsessed with justice nonstop and loves using Taekwondo. As a form of justice. He always thinks he could try to, change the world with Taekwondo, but that's not always the case, man. Sorry. Okay, so that's Kim. So you might be asking yourself, so who's the guy? So you might be asking, okay, you might be asking, who's the guy with the wrecking ball standing next to him, and the other guy that kind of looks like Freddy Krueger? The man with the wrecking ball, Chang Kohan. The guy with the bucket hat and that looks like Freddy Krueger, Choi Boon. Two criminals that Kim forces them to team up with in this tournament. Why? Well, here's how the story goes. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry. Here's how the story goes. So, Chang was a violent criminal who escaped prison one day using his wrecking ball. Kim heard about this, basically went after Chang and stopped him, and basically sent him back to prison. As how he met Choi, he ended up walking home one day and Choi ambushed him because Choi is a serial killer. Kim ultimately does beat him and sent him to prison, but then Kim had the crazy idea one day of okay, what if not only do I use Taekwondo to as a form of justice, what if I used it to rehabilitate people, change people from criminals to heroes? So Kim's crazy idea was this. He recruits Chang and Choi, gets them to enter the King of Fighters tournament with him, but there was a catch. Basically, it went something like, all right, you two, here's the deal. I'll let you two stay out of prison under one condition. You two be my first disciples in my rehabilitation program. Of course, Chang and Choi sarcastically said yes, but that ended up backfiring in their face completely, because when they said yes, the plan was, all right, let's just beat this guy up and then just run away. But every time they tried, it backfired. Like, they obviously screwed themselves from here at this point, because if they thought joining Kim was gonna stay out of prison and think, oh, we're free, no, sirs. That was a horrible plan. You should have just said no from the start. You should have just stayed in your jail cells, because from this point on, these two would go through their hellish. These two would suffer Kim's brutal training regimen. They would be basically trained to the point where they're almost dead, but not really though. But yeah, these two have become a great pair with Kim. I mean, they would stay together from most of the King of Fighters tournaments, but I mean, they're always iconic though. I mean, Chang with his wrecking ball, Choi being small but always end up, killing always with his slashing claws. And yeah, although he does look like Freddy Krueger, SNK tried to make sure he was completely different, just slightly. I mean, from one of the videos I was watching, it said that they were gonna add Choi to have a striped sweater, but obviously that went out the window because they didn't want to get sued by the people that actually made the Nightmare on Elm Street films. But I don't know if Choi ever, if they do bring Choi back, maybe they could add it, maybe for promotional stuff or whatever. I honestly don't. So yeah, that's all those 4 characters for those games, for Fatal Fury and Art of Fighting. But now we get to the games that introduced us to... Now we get to the games that are different. Let me just pull it up, just one sec. Let me just pull them up, just one sec. Just give me a sec, guys. Alright, here's our next team. Welcome, Team Psycho Soldiers. So you have 3 iconic characters here. So, allow me to introduce your characters for this game, Psycho Soldiers. Sorry, I'm just checking something, just one sec. All right. All right. So you so here you have this girl in the red, Athena Asamiya. The one with the jackets, Saikensu, and the old man right here, Chingensai. Sorry, I'm just checking something right now, guys. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the girl in the red, Athena Asamiya, the boy in the boy in the jacket, Saikensu, and the drunk right here, Chingensai. So Chin is new. Chin was created for the KOF games Chin was created throughout the whole specifically for this game, but he would become somewhat of a fan favorite later down the line. As for Athena and Sai, they're from the Psycho Soldier video game. This game was like really old. It was sort of like almost similar to like the shoot 'em up, beat 'em up games back then. And Athena and Psycho Soldiers was actually a sequel to another game called Athena, which Athena Asamiya is a descendant of the original Athena. So, and upon hearing that name, you might be thinking, oh, Athena, like, the god, Greek mythology, goddess of war, all that kind of stuff. I mean, somewhat similar, but not actually. It gets complicated like that. Like I said, it's a bit complicated. So the story goes in Athena. Long ago, Athena Asamiya's ancestor, the original Athena, basically had to fight off some aliens. That were trying to destroy the Earth, and she was successful in doing that. Psycho Soldiers follows the same path, except now it's more of modern times, sort of. Athena, along with Sai, team up to fight those same aliens again that are trying to destroy the Earth. Throughout this whole game, Athena's mission was to become a famous pop idol, while also defending the Earth. But that's Athena and Sai in the Psycho Soldiers game. In the King of Fighters game, they're completely different. Because Athena is already a pop star, and Sai, he is basically Athena's #1 fanboy, being the supportive friend, and also been trying to secretly ask Athena out, but ultimately it fails and backfires on him. But, keep on trying, dude. Maybe one day you'll get her. As for Chin, though, he's basically the master of Athena and Sai, so that way they can keep their power. He can help train these two to keep their powers in check. Athena would have some changes throughout her design later on in future KOF games, but we'll get to that down the line. We'll get to that down the line, but for now, you got these three iconic team with Athena being a classic fighter throughout the whole series. Alright, that's Psycho Soldiers. Now we move on to the next team. We move on to the next team. Ikari Warriors. This is composed of Hydern, Ralph, and Clark. If I remember correctly, Ralph being the one with the bandana, Clark being the one with the blue hats. So there's not much of the Ikari Warrior. There's not much detail to go on the Ikari Warrior games, as it's just more of a beat 'em up, shoot 'em up game. Well, okay, it's more of a run and gun game. You know, you just run and shoot, run and shoot, run and shoot, all that kind of stuff. I mean, again, there was no story behind the main Ikari Warrior games. But in the King of Fighters game, there was story between these three. There was a story between these three. I won't spoil too much though. So Ralph, the one on the red bandana, always fights with his quick fists. Like, he always strikes hard. Like, he always is a fast striker. Meanwhile, Clark, the one with the blue hat, is a grappler. He always uses grapple abilities to toss his opponent in the air, and always, you know, tries to always like pin them down. As for Hydern, well, Hydern is mostly Hydern, to quote the YouTuber I was watching his video on, KOF's history, he would become like the Nick Fury of the games. I mean, he would join these two in the first two games, but after that he just went away for a while. Like, he would appear again in some King of Fighters games, but after this it's more of like, alright, I'm just gonna stay in the background, you know, keep an eye on things. Hydern is pretty strong. I mean, a guy with his abilities, I mean, believe me, when I first played against him, he was pretty hard to beat. Like, believe me, he has an ability that will kill your life point, that kill your health in mere half a sec. But yeah, that's pretty much it for these guys at the moment. Right, now let me go to the next team. Team USA, American Sports. American Sports. Original characters for this game. So, first we got Heavy D, the one with the mohawk. Lucky Glober, the guy with the purple hat and the basketball. And Brian Battler, the football star. Now, you might be thinking, upon first glance, you might think, wow, these guys are badasses, you know. Heavy D looking like he can knock out his opponent in 2 seconds, and Lucky be like, don't mess with me, or else I'm gonna make you look like a fool. and Brian be like, try and beat me. Watch what will happen. I will put you down to the ground. You might be thinking these teams look complete badasses. At first glance, yeah, they do. They do look like they do look like amazing badasses. But unfortunately, I have to break the bubble on that one because the first King of Fighters game, although they were meant to look like badasses, but from that point on, nope. They've been a complete joke. I mean, sort of like, how to put this bluntly, WWE jobber level joke. That's how bad this team is. I know some fans, there might be some fans that love this team, but believe me, SNK has done their best to make us hate them completely. They've been the running joke after the first King of Fighters game, and believe me, nobody can take them seriously anymore. And no one can take them seriously anymore, which kind of sucks. I mean, I feel like Heavy D should come back with a brand new team. He's got sort of like that badass vibe attitude. Be like, I feel like some teams should have him so he could be treated from a joke to now a good ass fighter. The same thing with Brian. As for Lucky Clover though, I'm not so sure. I mean, I'm not so sure. Maybe not. Again, let me guys. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, you think Lucky could be taken seriously more if he was on a different team, or not at all? I mean, what do you guys think? Again, I'm just saying my own opinions here. I'm not some like, you know, I'm not some predictionist or whatsoever. I'm just giving my own thoughts here. I do feel like Heavy D should come back. Maybe Brian too, and possibly Lucky if he was given the opportunity, but I do feel like Heavy D should come back. He might have some opportunities for him to be on a badass team and be finally taken seriously instead of a joke, but the way SNK's been treating this team, I doubt we'll see that happening. But who knows? Maybe somewhere down the line it could happen, but again, I could be wrong. Alright. Now we're on the last team. And the team that got the outfits that I'm currently based on. Team Japan, aka Team Hero. So I'm pretty sure by my outfits, as you see right here, I'm dressed as the guy in the middle, Kyo Kusanagi. The blonde on his side, Benamaru Nakaido. The one with the bandana on his head. And looking all serious, Goro Diamond. So, Kyo is the son of... Kyo is basically part of the Kusanagi clan, an ancient family clan that was very famous years ago, but I won't reveal too much on that. Benimaru has lightning abilities, and Goro, you can obviously tell from the way he looks, judo style kung fu. So yeah, these three have become most iconic and most badass of all time. From this game going on, they were all created for this game. And like I said, it was supposed to be one-off, but clearly as time went on, they've all evolved, they all changed, especially Kyo, because when you look at him, you sort of like give that like cocky attitude vibe of a, you know, like a punk kid. But as time went on, that all changed. He's become more mature, more, you know, more serious. Well, not too serious though, but he's still sort of like the chill dude, you know, you want to hang out with. So yeah, that's all the teams here. Just pull them up again. Just pull them up again. Just pull them up again. Just gonna pull them up again, just for a sec. Up again, just for a sec. And just pull them up again, just a bit. Pull them up, just a sec. Let's pull them up all together, just 1 sec. Just pull them up, click. And here you are. All the teams that make up the first King of Fighters video game, to which we will play tomorrow. So it's gonna be split up into 2 sets. I'm gonna see if I could try to play as all of them, but we will try our best though. So tomorrow we're going to start with the first team that helped make this game together, and SNK's first iconic character, Fatal Fury. And then on day 2, we're going to end it with Team Japan. So it's only going to be for 2 days. We'll be playing King of Fighters 94, and then from this point on, it begins. All this to help celebrate the 30th anniversary of this series. 30 years of King of Fighters. And we're going back to this original team set. Anyway, gonna get some rest right now. Hope to see you all guys again tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow we get serious. as a trip down memory lane. So, hope to see you all guys again tomorrow. Till then, Kiba here, signing out. Later guys.